Treksperts would like to begin today by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land on which we record. We pay our respects to their elders past and present and extend that respect to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders listening to us today.
My portion of today's episode is recorded on the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe, specifically the Ojibwe, the Chippewa, and the Odawa peoples. This territory is covered by the Williams Treaty of 1923 and the J. Collins Land Purchase of 1785. Those of us here are committed to listening to and learning the truths of our troubling history, and we will continue to work with the original stewards of this land to build a stronger understanding and appreciation for all peoples through the stories they tell.
You're listening to BQN. Assimilate the audio.
Hello everyone and welcome back to yet another round of the Treksperts quiz. Treksperts quiz is the Star Trek inspired trivia podcast where each week we put two self-proclaimed Star Trek experts or Treksperts into an arena battle to see who is the ultimate nerd in order to bring glory to themselves and their houses. As always, I am your host, Davey Willett, and it is my pleasure to have you back with us on this voyage of Star Trek knowledge. I am very excited to introduce this week's lineup of special Treksperts, but before we do that, I am also very excited to introduce first-time scorekeeper and adjudicator. Coming to us from across the BQN airwaves, a co-host on Galaxy Class, everyone's favorite Santa, it is Kevin. Kevin, welcome for the first time to the Treksperts quiz.
It is so great to be here, Davey. I love your show, and I'm excited to be part of it, and not being on the hot seat for my first time, I think, is a good choice.
It's becoming a popular choice, by the way. Most people want to sort of take this nice little, gentle gateway. It's like, I'm just going to sort of see just how hard it is for these guys when they're actually being quizzed. But yeah. Well, it's a pleasure to have you here for the first time. And, you've been listening to the show and I know you know at least one of today's contestants quite well.
Mm-hmm.
And you've had a chance to look at the topic. You've had a chance to see the questions. And let's just go with, who you know and what you know. How do you think they're going to do?
You know what? I think these questions might be right in their wheelhouse. I think they're going to do okay. I think they will. This could be a high-scoring game, Davey.
Excellent. All right, let's see if we can finally give Kelvin a run for his money. Well, I think we need to activate that transporter. And bring in our first contestant. Our first contestant goes by he, him pronouns. Surprisingly, I saw in his questionnaire that his favourite series is Enterprise. We don't see that come up as a favourite very, very often. Loves Data and Spock and the Enterprise D. Host of Trivia with Jim over on the Galaxy Class podcast. It's Jim McMahon. Jim, welcome. Finally.
Hello.
Hey,
Yes.
How you going?
I'm doing great, thank you.
It's been a long time trying to find the right time to get you on the show.
It's been a long road from getting from there to here.
Never gets old. Never gets old. So you're finally here with us, Jim. How are you feeling to take on the quiz?
As I'm sure you've heard many times, I'm both nervous and excited at the same time, and looking forward to this.
That's the right mixture of emotions, I think, that we like to try and go for. So that's fabulous. Now, Jim, I wanted to ask you about your area of Trekspertise. Now, you think that you are particularly good at remembering the names of actors and characters. Now, there's a lot of them to remember. Now, what are we talking, like core cast? Are we talking B characters? Are we talking the whole thing?
Tends to be a mixture. Like, part of it is that I'm partially autistic, so I tend to remember stuff like that more than I probably
Yes.
should. But it's just the kind of thing that tends to stick with me.
Is it almost like a photographic memory?
No, not really. No.
No, not really. No, it's just there, and that.
It's just the kind of thing that's it's just the kind of thing that you never know what'll stick in, but it does.
Well, Jim, because I know that you are a bit of a trivia master, and listeners and viewers, if you have not heard Trivia with Jim over on the Galaxy Class
And I would
podcast,
recommend you do if you haven't.
yeah, definitely. He is a tough taskmaster. In
Yes,
fact,
and
if
one of
I'm
our
ever out for
winners
the
on trivia is our adjudicator today.
there you go, there you go. So, well, I know that Kevin was very excited when I suggested that he be adjudicator for you. I think payback was the term that he used when we were chatting. So.
Yes, I think Kevin, Joe, Amy, and Ria would all have loved to do payback.
Now, given that you are such a fabulous trivia master, I gave you the option of picking your competitor, nominating someone, and so we're just going to beam your competitor in now. Jim's competitor today goes by the pronouns he and him. He says it's a close race between TNG and DS9 for his favourite series, but TNG probably pulls out just a little bit ahead. Also, a big fan of Data, followed closely by Riker. Coming to us for the first time ever on the Treksperts quiz, it is Peter. Peter, welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's wonderful to be here.
It's so good to have you, and I'm so excited that Jim has chosen someone who he thinks will. He wanted a challenge, and that's why he's chosen you. So I think that says a lot, and especially because I noticed when reading through your questionnaire that you run your own Star Trek trivias as like a pub trivia. Is that right?
Yeah, I joined a group that does it. TC Trek Trivia runs a monthly Star Trek trivia on the second Wednesday of the month here in Twin Cities, Minnesota, and they ran it for about 5 years before I started writing questions for them. Partially so that Jim and I would stop winning all the time. So,
Yeah, there was a stretch of about 9 months on our
yeah,
team where it didn't matter how badly we did, we would always win by a landslide,
yeah,
and
it
people were
was
kind of starting to get a little upset with us.
So I started writing questions, and it's been really fun. I've been doing that for about 5 years, and they're great. I absolutely love doing it. It was started by Taylor Sisko and his wife Cara. They're great, and so I work with them. I write questions every month, and usually I'm there. I wasn't this month because my wife and I recently had a baby, but I wrote the questions anyway, and so managed to
Yes,
get that
and
done.
also sorry for interrupting, but also Peter is the person I go to for proofreading all of my trivia questions for Trivia with Jim.
There you go. There you go. Sometimes I feel like I should get someone to proofread some of my stuff because I make mistakes frequently.
Oh yeah, we do too. But
Yeah.
to avoid the super obvious ones, I go to Peter.
My other running thing with trivia every month is, I write the questions, I clean up the script, I make sure there's no typos. There's always one that gets by me. There's always one.
Yeah,
The audience doesn't see it, but I see it and I know. So I have to be harsh on myself.
Yeah, and it's hard to, especially if you're writing a long quiz, like I do for this show, because sometimes I have to be careful because we always have such a narrow focus. I can write a question at the beginning, which might sometimes give the answer away to something a little bit later on, and people will be like, "Oh wait, we've already talked about this." Or now, there was something I mentioned that both of you had on your questionnaires that you were both a fan of, a particular character. And that was one Mr. Data. So today's quiz is Positively Positronic, and it is all about everyone's favorite Sung-type android, Lieutenant Commander Data. So let's just see how much about him you really know, because the entire quiz is all data.
This could be interesting.
Should be interesting.
Peter looks a little lost for words for it.
We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to jump straight into the first round. You've got your buzzers at the ready. We've got 9 questions on Data's early life.
I am an android.
Question 1, for a single point. Data was constructed on which planet?
Peter.
Omicron Theta.
My buttons disappeared on me temporarily. But yes, well done. Question number 2. What was the name of Noonien Sung's wife and Data's mother?
Jim.
Juliana Tainer.
Correct. And in actual fact, when we meet her, she's not really a woman either. She is rather another android created by Sung after the death of his wife, the real Juliana. During the episode that she's in, Data discovers her true nature, but does not reveal to her that she is an android. Very, very sad, actually. Very sad. And funny that it doesn't get referenced again in Picard. But anyway.
It might. You never know.
It's true. That's true. Okay, question 3 for another single point. What part of human language has Data never mastered?
Jim.
Contractions.
Yes.
That is correct. Well done, Jim. These two are all over it. It'll be interesting to... I can't wait if I hopefully just trip either of you up eventually, but we'll see. Okay, question 4. The crew of which starship found Data on Omicron Theta?
Peter.
USS. Tripoli?
Correct. It was the USS Tripoli. All over it.
Nice.
And this is a close game already. I'm loving it. All right, here's an interesting one. In the TNG episode The Naked Now, Data claims he had been written about in several textbooks on what topic?
Ooh. Peter.
Cybernetics?
Afraid not. Jim, you get a free shot.
I have no clue.
Unable to comply.
He was written up in several biomechanical textbooks.
Yeah.
Sure.
You're like, yeah, sure, why not?
That's some season 1 TNG rating for you. Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Question 6. What did the colonists on Omicron Theta insist that Data should start doing?
Ooh.
Jim?
Wear clothes.
There you go.
Yes, he didn't think it was necessary since he did not suffer from the elements. All right, question 7 of 9. It's super easy for a question 7 of 9, but there's 2 points here available. Name the other 2 Sung-type androids that we know of that we have not already mentioned.
Peter.
Lore and B4.
That's right, that is 2 points for Peter. Question 8, 1 point. Noonien Sung also went by what nickname?
Peter.
Often wrong?
Okay, there was a moment there. I'm like, oh, this is the one that stumps them? All right, and the final question for Data's early life. After the destruction of Omicron Theta to the crystalline entity, what was the only thing primarily left in Data's memory?
Peter.
The logs of the colonists.
Verified.
Correct, the logs and journals of all the colonists. All right, that was almost a warp speed round in itself because you all know your data. That was pretty good, but relatively close. Kevin, how did they end up at the end of round 1?
Well, it started tight, but Peter has started to pull away a little bit. The score after round 1 is 6 for Peter and 3 for Jim.
Ooh. Okay,
And that
that's
doesn't mean
not...
I didn't necessarily know the answers. I didn't get
right.
it. Peter was just quicker on the buzzer.
Jim's just got to point that out. He's like, there's a speed element to this. I still know my shit, all right? Like,
And he does. Oh, he does.
I believe it. All right, so we're going to go into your second round then. And the second round is a little bit about Data's time in Starfleet. So generally before the Enterprise, during the Enterprise, a little bit after the Enterprise as well.
Humor! I love it!
So this should draw on some more recognizable canon content, hopefully. All right, hands back on those buzzers for your second round. Okay, question 1. Data spent 3 years as an ensign and 12 years as a lieutenant aboard which starship?
Jim.
The Tripoli?
Negative.
No, that was the ship that found him.
Oh, you can see the wheels turning in Peter's head.
I can't. It's right here, and I can't. I
think it's only mentioned once, to be honest. Do you want to have a shot?
That's why
Free
I
shot?
guessed what I guessed.
I can't think of it. Yeah.
Unable to comply.
Okay, it's the Tieste. Tieste. I might not be
That's why I
pronouncing
couldn't
that
think of it.
correctly.
Oh, the Trieste?
Trieste.
Yeah.
Trieste. Yeah. Tieste sounds like a European DJ. So I mean,
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. You finally tripped us up.
Yeah.
there we go. All right. So your second question for this round: when Riker meets Data on the Enterprise D holodeck, what song is Data attempting to whistle?
Jim.
Pop goes the weasel.
Verified.
That's right, and he was stuck for a little bit there as well.
Interesting that is the song that you see in the music notation in the closing credits of this season of Picard.
Yes, it was our good friend Joe over on Galaxy Class who brought that to my attention. There's still some bits of those closing credits that have yet to reveal themselves.
Exactly.
All right, next question. Question 3 for another single point. Data does not require sleep. As such, he is often assigned to do what on board the Enterprise D?
Jim.
Command the night shift.
Verified.
That's right. Begin night watch. Okay, question 4. Apart from being operations officer, what was Data's other role on the Enterprise?
Peter.
Science officer.
Negative.
Not what I have. Not what I'm looking for. Jim, free shot.
That's what I would have guessed too.
I think I know what it actually is, or what you were looking for. I'm guessing, but
Do you want to just you won't get the point? But what do you think?
I'm assuming you're looking for second officer.
Correct. That's what I was looking for. Yes, second officer. Sure. Well done. Dear. No point though, but yeah. tricky one.
Yeah, now I
was he a science officer?
Well, like he was kind of. That's the weird thing. He was kind of de facto science officer.
Yeah.
Sometimes, if the episode required it, there was a science officer. Most of the rest of the time, it was just Data. So
Yeah, that's right. It was just, science by default because he was an android.
he knew everything anyway. Why not?
Dear. All right. So, question 5. Who helps Data experience his first emotion?
Peter.
Q.
Verified.
Correct, when he has him absolutely pissing himself laughing about absolutely nothing at all. He doesn't know what's quite so funny, but it's a very pleasant experience.
Humor! I love
All right.
it!
Data was executive officer for the Enterprise D under which captain?
Jim.
Captain Riker.
Negative.
Not what I'm looking for, Peter.
Jellicoe.
Verified.
Oh, yeah,
That's
right.
what I was looking for, yes. I guess, Jim, on a technicality, he was kind of made acting first officer under Riker in Best of Both Worlds.
And in future, well, because Shelby, he was briefly there, and then Shelby was in Best of Both Worlds. But in Future Imperfect, he was the alternate future, in the illusion from Barash. He was that was the first time we saw Data in red. So
yes, that's right. Yes, so you technically could be correct, but wasn't the answer I was after. All right, question 7 of 9 is worth 3 points. Name the 3 historical figures that Data plays poker with on the holodeck during descent.
Peter.
Stephen Hawking, Isaac Newton, and Albert Einstein.
Verified.
Impressive. Well done. That is 3 points for Peter. Question 8 is one of my most favorite questions of the game. During the Lower Decks episode, Embarrassment of Duplas, Data's career had been commemorated with a limited edition what?
I think you might have stumped them.
Anyone want to buzz in and have a guess?
Jim.
The limited edition hologram.
Negative.
I am afraid not. Peter, would you like to have a guess?
I don't remember. My initial guess would be it's a plate like Tom Paris had, but I don't think it was that. It was something else, and I don't remember what.
Negative.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't a plate. It wasn't a hologram. It was a commemorative limited edition bubble bath.
Oh, that's right. That's right. And then
You can see it now, yeah.
On the table at the recruitment booth.
Yeah.
Right. That's right. Bubble bath.
Yeah. All right. Final question for the round. What deck of the Enterprise D was Data's quarters located on?
Jim.
Deck 12.
Negative.
Afraid not.
All right, let me think
Yeah.
here. I'm gonna guess 3. I don't think it's right. I could go grab the blueprints I have back there and check, but I'm guessing 3.
Negative.
Yeah.
You are close. Now, according to StarTrek.com, his quarters were on Deck 2, room 3653.
It's an odd
Go
number,
figure.
considering Deck 2 is not that big.
I know.
At least I had the number 2 in my guess.
Hey. Something.
All right. So there's a few more challenges, a few more curveballs in that one that got you. So that brings us to the end of that round. And Kevin, how are we going? Is Peter still holding on to that lead?
Oh, Peter has widened his lead a little bit. So Peter scored 5 points in that round to Jim's 2, which puts the score at Peter at 11 and Jim with 5.
You're hot on his tail, Jim. You are. Like there is ground to be made up here, and you have another full round and the 20-question warp speed round in which you could take him on. How are you feeling going into the third round, Jim?
Oh, pretty confident.
Yeah, he's cool. He's cool as a cucumber. This guy, he's chill. And Peter, do you think you can hold on to this lead?
I certainly hope so, but I never count Jim out. I'll say that.
All right. Well, we're gonna take a slight difference in path here. So round 3 is all about Brent. So we're going to, instead of focusing on data, we're actually going to focus on the man, the actor, Brent Spiner. So you know a lot about data, but do you know a lot about Brent Spiner, Peter?
Not as much as I know about his character, that's for sure.
What about you, Jim?
It would depend on the role.
Well, we've got all kinds of interesting questions here, not just about his filmography. So his IMDb page was open when I was doing research for this, but I took inspiration from many sources. So we'll jump into the first question for round 3. Question 1 for a single point. In 1991, Brent Spiner released an album. What was it called?
Peter.
Old Yellow Eyes.
More information?
I don't know. I thought that was the... I don't know.
Data insufficient.
That's not the full title.
No.
Now, Kevin, here's an interesting one to adjudicate. He's given us half the title, which could be worth half a point.
Okay, let's see if Jim can get the other half.
Yeah.
I didn't even know he'd made an album. So
So the full title was Old Yellow Eyes is Back. Yes.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna give Peter half a point on that. He got the Yellow Eyes part. That's the important part.
I'm happy with that. I'm happy with a half point there for sure. All right. So the second question. Brent Spiner joined forces with Gates McFadden and Leonard Nimoy in which audio drama in 2010?
Ooh.
I liked the gasp from Jim there.
because I remember this being made, I just can't remember the title.
No one wants to guess? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Unable to comply.
It was War of the Worlds.
Oh, sure.
Oh, that's
sure,
right. I listened
sure.
to that too.
That wasn't on my radar at all. But I mean, it makes sense. But yeah.
It's fabulous. It's so good.
It
It's
really
so good.
was, yeah.
I learned about that one from Christos, actually, on What's the Tea, Bev? So Christos loves his audiobooks and his audio dramas. Alrighty. What was the name of Brent Spiner's character in Independence Day?
Jim.
Dr. Oaken or Oaken?
Verified.
Dr. Oaken is correct. Dr. Brackish Oaken was the full name, but do I think we can take Dr. Oaken?
Yes, sir.
I wasn't going to get
Alright.
it, so yeah.
I'm impressed. Yeah. I mean, I'm a big fan of Independence Day. Like,
Yeah,
it was,
so am I.
Oh, yeah.
Not the sequel, but the original. It came out when I was in like early high school, and mind blown. I've seen
same
it
here
so
for the
many
same
times.
reasons.
Yeah.
All right, next question. Brent Spiner is godfather to which TNG co-star's son?
Jim.
Michael Dorn, I think.
Negative.
No.
Okay.
Peter, who do you think it might be?
I kind of have to go through my list here. Hold on. So it's not.
It just came to me too.
It's not Jonathan Frakes because he only has daughters. It's not Patrick Stewart because his kids are too old. It's It must be Gates McFadden because the kid was born during TNG.
Verified.
It is Gates McFadden. He is godfather to James McFadden Talbot.
I
who
loved watching
is-
your thought process there, Peter.
Yeah, that was
Fascinating.
great. That was great. Who must be now probably almost 30 or something like that.
Well, he was born during
Okay.
4th season of TNG, right?
Yeah. So you're right. He's probably like, which was like 91, 92. So he's probably like 31. Yeah.
Next question. Question 5. Do you know the name of Brent Spiner's wife? Just no.
No.
All right then.
Unable to
So
comply.
straight up, we're not even going to have a go. Okay, cool.
This is
Not even because she's
I assume she
like
kept
a
her
lot of
last name,
Hollywood.
like a lot of-
yeah, a lot of Hollywood couples usually keep their maiden name. It was Laurie McBride, who is a film producer. Well, it's funny when you Google her, it says she's a film producer, but only ever produced one film according to IMDb, which was the 2000 film Real Doll. They have a son together as well, named Jackson Spiner, and it looks like they've been together for quite some time. I was like, do I ask this question because usually they're divorced, and because there was photos of them from like way back in the 90s, photos of them together now. So good on them for staying together. All right, question 6 for a single point. Brent Spiner did the voice of Conan O'Brien in which animated film?
Peter.
I'm going to take a guess that it's South Park, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut.
Verified.
That's correct. Yes.
I never saw that film, so I would never have gotten that one.
Yeah.
Blame Canada.
Right. Canada.
What is it? There's a whole scene where they're on the show, and he's just like, "You saw our film together, Conan. We loved it." And then he throws himself out a window.
Yeah, it was very weird.
I think he literally says like 2 lines as Conan O'Brien. It's like, "What have I done?" And then throws himself out the window. But it was Brent Spiner's voice.
I did not realize that.
I'm enjoying this round because you two breezed through the first 2 rounds so quickly, and this one's got you moving at a bit more of an impulse. So it's got you both thinking, which is good. All right, I like this next question too. So question 7 of 9 for 3 points. Brent Spiner has played Noonien Sung, Data's father. Name the 3 other Sungs he has portrayed in the franchise.
Peter.
Alton Inigo Soong,
That's right.
Eric Soong,
That's right.
and Eric Soong, and there's a 4th one. Oh.
It's the most recent one too that you're missing.
Yeah.
So you've got Altman and Arik.
got
Arik was impressive. I'm surprised.
Yeah. Oh. It's the 21st century one.
5, 4,
Eric
3, 2, 1. All right, I'm
remember.
going to stop you
Can't
there.
remember his
You
name.
get 2 points. You get 2 points for the ones you knew. Jim, do you know the last one?
I've been trying to think of that one too this entire time. Oh my god, this is gonna bug me because it was like a very simple name.
No. Oh my god! You're both gonna you're gonna kill yourselves. Oh my god, you're not gonna like this. So you get this.
Unable to comply.
Yeah, I'm not gonna come up with it.
Adam.
Ah!
It was a very simple name.
Goes to show the lengths that I have gone to, which is really insignificant actually, but the lengths I've gone to purge Picard season 2 from my head and focus on season 3. For many reasons. There's some great stuff, and then there was a lot of unfortunate things in that season. So that was one of the ones that just kind of it's gone. Adamson. Yeah.
There you go. Well, I mean, there could be many more songs in our future, so we may come back to this question again in a few years.
It's true.
Okay, second last question for the Brent Spiner round. Brent Spiner has also done voice acting in the animated series from which Star Trek rival sci-fi franchise? I want the name of the actual animated series. No one knows it?
I don't know.
Unable to comply.
He's done voice acting in several episodes of Star Wars Rebels. Yeah.
I'll watch that show now.
All right, final question.
You're giving Peter ideas for our pub trivia.
Oh, that's for sure.
Yeah, I was going to say, you don't have to write these down. It's being recorded, so it's fine. Okay, final question for the round. How old is Brent Spiner currently?
Jim.
I think he's 71.
Negative.
Afraid not.
Peter.
I think he was born in 57, I want to say. So I think he's like 66.
Negative.
He is 74. So Jim was
Closer than
very,
that?
very close.
Yeah.
I
Freaks
was off by a
recently,
bit.
Freaks in like the episode of the Ready Room that he was on said that the only cast member.
Oh, that's right. They're all in their 70s,
Whedon was
except for Will.
that was under 70 was
Yeah.
LeVar.
Oh, sure. And then Will. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I didn't. Okay.
All right,
Math
well
wrong on
done.
that
Good for his
anyway.
age.
I think I did my math wrong on that anyway. But yeah.
All right, so it turns out you're not as sharp on the man as you are on the character, which is fair enough. But at the end of that round, how have we gone score-wise, Kevin?
Well, Peter has gained 4.5 points in that round. Jim only gained 1, I'm sorry to say. So that puts our current score at 15.5 for Peter and 6 for Jim. But there's still 20 questions left.
There is, and the warp speed round can be make or break for everyone. So let's not waste any time. Let's go straight into warp. All right, the warp speed round is 20 quickfire questions that are going to come after you in rapid succession. What happens is you get 10 seconds to answer each question. If I do not get an answer, I will move on to the next question. Are we ready?
Oh yes.
All right, these are all Data Brent Spiner questions, all just in a big blender together. So let's go. All right, first question. During the episode Redemption, what ship does Data take command of?
Peter.
USS Sutherland.
Verified.
Correct. Data names his daughter Lal after the Hindu word meaning what?
Jim.
Peace.
Negative.
No. Free shot at it, Peter.
Love.
Incorrect.
Not quite. Beloved.
Oh,
Question
yeah.
3. Yeah. During the episode In Theory, Data has a romantic relationship with who?
Jim.
Jenna DeSora.
Verified.
Well done. Impressive. Who attempts to add data to... Sorry, I'm going to start that again. Who attempts to add data to his collection in the episode The Most Toys?
Jim.
Kivas Fajo.
Verified.
Very impressive. When fellow Sung android B4 could not handle Data's neural net, where was his body stored?
Peter.
Daystrom Institute.
Verified.
That's correct. Who is Data writing a letter to in Data's day?
Jim.
Bruce Maddox.
Verified.
Correct. What is the name of the Borg who gives Data a taste of emotion?
Jim.
Croesus.
Verified.
They're too good. They're too good. What does Data say in response to Geordie asking him, "Are you here for a trim?"
Jim.
I don't remember the exact quote, but doesn't he call him a lunkhead?
Verified.
I think we'll give you that. It's like, my hair does not require trimming, you lunkhead.
Yes.
Whatever a lunkhead is. Question 9. Where is Data's off switch?
Jim.
Is it? It's on like his back left. It's on like the back left side of his thigh or something. I think.
Negative.
That's not what I have. Not what I got from Memory Alpha.
I think it's on the back. Oh, back left or back right. It's in his back, in his torso.
Verified.
I'll give you on his back. It's on the small of his back. Was the answer on Memory Alpha for that one. Jim, I think there could be some contention there because when I immediately thought it was somewhere on the behind his knee or something like that as well. I think it might show up in multiple locations throughout the show.
Yeah.
All right, question 10. In what episode does Data defend the rights of the exocomps?
Peter.
Quality of life.
Verified.
That's correct. On what observatory did Data fail to save Geordie from being captured in Generations?
Peter.
Amargosa.
Verified.
You guys are too good. This is
is
insane. What song does Data sing at Riker and Troy's wedding?
Jim.
Oh, I just lost it. Damn it.
That's not a good song. He
That's
would
not
do
the
better
answer.
than-
Yeah.
Unable to comply.
Damn it, and I had it in my head too.
Peter?
Was that Blue Skies?
Verified.
That is correct. And for a bit of a tricky one, who originally wrote and performed Blue Skies in 1929?
Jim.
Irving Berlin.
Verified.
Congratulations! There was one I didn't think you would get.
I just remember that scene in I think it was whatever the movie was, a drunk wharf. It says Irving Berlin and then passes out.
Ah, yes.
Yes.
Yes, of course. Well done. All right, we're getting through it. Which Enterprise couple did Data have a hand in introducing?
Jim.
Miles O'Brien and Keiko.
Verified.
That's correct. Data lost a game of Stratagema to Sienna Kohlrami. What species was Kohlrami?
Peter.
Zach Dorn.
Verified.
Good work. During the future timeline of All Good Things, Data was a professor at which university?
Jim.
Cambridge.
Verified.
Good work. In Data's Sherlock Holmes holodeck program, which actor portrayed Moriarty?
Jim.
Daniel Davis.
Verified.
Much better known to me as Niles from The Nanny.
Yep, same here.
So funny in that role. Next question. Following on from that, who did Moriarty stuff full of crumpets?
Jim.
Dr. Pulaski.
Verified.
She didn't seem to be a very unhappy hostage. All right. Second last question. What human behavior did Data practice with Commander Hutchinson?
Jim.
Small talk.
Verified.
That is correct. Now, for our final question, we always do a wee little bit of an impersonation. Now, I'm going to play you a little video, and then you're both going to have a shot at performing the following.
Get the captain.
Data. The sensors can't penetrate the planet's ionosphere. There's too much interference. Can you find a way to scan for life forms?
I would be happy to, sir. I just
You two cracking up.
scanning for life forms. Life forms. You tiny little life forms. You precious little life forms. Oh, where are you?
All right. Who would like to go first?
I can go on that.
Take it away. It's all yours.
All right. I love scanning for life forms. Life forms. You tiny little life forms. You precious little life forms. Where are you?
Well done. Perfect. Jim, that's a tough act to follow.
Yes. I think I'll give it a try though.
Take it away.
Life forms, you precious little life forms. Where are you?
You have to think at the end. I didn't do the thing at the end.
Oh, that was fabulous. So, as always, Kevin, the scorekeeper's job is to tell us who did it best.
That's so hard. You both poured your hearts and souls into the life form song. But I think I gotta give it to Peter. Sorry, Jim.
Well done.
No,
That's a
that's
point for Peter. That. I feel like you have been rehearsing that for quite some time. It was pulled off so flawlessly. One in the repertoire, is it?
I didn't realize it until now, but sure.
Well, that was a fabulous way to end a fabulous game. But of course, there can be only one ultimate Trekspert when it comes to our knowledge of Lieutenant Commander Data. Kevin, who was our winner?
Okay, well, in that last round, Jim did catch up. He scored 11 to Peter's 9, although I think this spreadsheet might be off a little bit because they did pass on one question, so I cannot figure out where that number 9 comes from. But anyway, that makes the final score 24.5 for Peter to 17 for Jim. Well fought, Jim, but Peter is our champion.
Woo! Well done, Bajoran claps all around, everyone. There we go. That was fabulous, Peter. Congratulations on taking out the win. Jim truly chose an awesome competitor. So, what's your victory speech? Now, what are you going to do now that you've claimed the title of the ultimate Trekspert when it comes to data?
Well, I have a couple of follow-up questions to see if any of you guys can get them. The three things I thought of. Jim actually has had one of these.
Go on.
During one of the quizzes. So 3 questions. So one is actually a follow-up to all the LOIs is back. Who accompanied him on at least some of the tracks on that?
Oh, and I only just saw this the other day, but I can't remember who it was.
Did Frakes play trombone?
No, I don't think so, actually.
Was it someone from the cast?
Yes, it was.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't Gates, was it? No.
No.
Not a clue.
No.
I think Jim, you have
I'll give it to him. Yeah, Issa.
Well, no, this is way back. This is. I'm talking about the album in '91.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Way back. I think he did a barbershop quartet with Patrick, Michael, and LeVar. I think is the 3.
No way.
No?
Yeah.
I think it was something like that. I don't think Frakes was doing. I think Frakes was the odd man out. So that's my follow up. Is there you go.
I was gonna say, yeah, that's this is a game of first because I don't think I've ever asked anyone to give a victory speech who's then just asked me quiz questions right back at me.
That's my repertoire.
Amazing. Well, that was an impressive game overall. You truly both showed your trivia chops there. Jim, do you have a concession speech or final words for your competitor?
Well fought.
Indeed. Well fought.
Well, that was a fierce battle, listeners and viewers. Hope you enjoyed it. Before we wrap up for today, let's just do a quick round of where the Treksperts can find you online or out in the real world. And let's start with our fabulous scorekeeper and adjudicator, Kevin.
Well, thanks, Davey. This was a lot of fun. If you're on the BQN network, you've probably heard me on Galaxy Class, our Star Trek The Next Generation dedicated program, where we are currently reviewing every episode of Star Trek Picard. And you can find me on another podcast I do, which is called True North Nerds, which is a show I do with some local friends where we talk about all things nerdy and geeky. The last episode was a bit of a talk about Star Trek Picard, but also The Mandalorian, because we like that other Star franchise as well. You can find me on the Facebooks on the BQN Collective as well. I pop in there quite often. Don't show up so much on Twitter.
Awesome. Well, get out there and find those other BQN shows. They are fabulous. And I may be a little biased. I am an associate producer on Galaxy Class, so get over and check that one out. All right. And Jim, where can the Treksperts find you online?
The main one to contact me on would be the Twitter. I am still maintaining that for now. TrekFan165. I do also pop into the BQN Facebook group, and you can hear me from time to time on Galaxy Class. I am one of the other associate producers on there.
There we go. And your trivia on there is always so much fun.
Yes,
as well.
and I'm hoping to make another appearance sometime in the near future. Don't know when.
Hint, hint, Kevin. Hint, hint.
Yeah, we're scheduling.
Yeah, I work that out with
April.
Amy. I don't work that out with Kevin.
Oh. Well, Amy is the queen of the BQN.
Yeah.
Well,
Sorry. Yeah. He's like, I'll go right to the top. All right. I'm going to talk to Amy Nelson and Amy Nelson.
Well, it's because I have the direct number for Amy.
And Peter, finally, where can our listeners and viewers find you?
So I also have a Twitter and an Instagram. They're both just my first initial and my last name. So it's P Gawtry, Gawtry. Not as active on those. I mean, I read them semi-frequently. I don't post a ton. But moreover, you should come, especially if you're in Minnesota, in the Twin Cities area, second Wednesday of the month at 7 p.m. at Driftwood Char Bar in South Minneapolis. You can come answer questions that are co-written by me and Taylor Sisko, and the video round from his wife Cara, who's brilliant. And you can maybe challenge Jim and see if you can take him on. So
yeah.
Beautiful. Well, if you are in the area, get along and check it out. If I ever find myself in that part of the world, you can guarantee I will come along. All right, everyone, please get out and find this fabulous group of Treksperts online, whether it be through Peter and Jim's trivia or Kevin on True North Nerds or Galaxy Class. All fabulous, wonderful Star Trek fans, all serving up amazing, fun content for you to consume. However, if you at home today were screaming out the very few answers that Peter or Jim did not know, especially the ones about Brent Spiner, and you think you could do better, then please put your latinum where your mouth is. Register to be a contestant by heading over to trekspertsquiz.com and filling out the form on our site. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook by searching for Treksperts Quiz. You can also email us directly, trekspertsquiz@gmail.com. We welcome all your feedback, quiz ideas, or just to say hello. You can also join the BQN Collective on Facebook, full of BQN hosts and listeners having conversations and sharing fun content related to our programs. Don't forget as well to check out the other amazing shows on the BQN, such as All Good Things, Galaxy Class, History with the Zalagis, Infinite Diversity, Mickey's Marvels, Sasquatch, What's the T-Bev, my new show, The Bargain Bin Gamer, spelt Gaymer, and we've got quite a few other shows waiting in the wings to join the lineup very, very shortly. It's great to see the BQN growing. You can find any or all of these by searching for the BQN Master Feed wherever you get your podcasts from. You can support Treksperts Quiz and all the other fabulous BQN shows by becoming a patron of the network as well. Visit patreon.com/BQN. In Australian dollars, for as little as $2 a month, you can enjoy early access to some shows and join our new Treksperts Quiz Live, which includes real prizes. Or for just $5 a month, you can get exclusive network content and join our monthly roundtable meeting known as the Hive Mind. If you ask me, that's all pretty good value, and there is a lot of other exciting content being served up just for the patrons all the time. So tune in next week when we will be quizzing someone. I don't know yet. It's a surprise. So that's it for now. So no matter what you do and no matter where you go, please make sure you go boldly, live long and prosper. Peace out, everyone. Woo! So I came on up to the bridge one day, and wouldn't you know it, Picard's got himself into some strife down on the planet. And Riker, old Riker, he comes up to me and he says, Data, we got a problem. The ionosphere is stopping us from scanning for life forms. That Riker, such a cad. And he goes to me, you know what he says? He says, Data, can you find a way to scan for life forms? And I'm like, I'd be happy to, Commander. Oh, life forms, you tiny little life forms, you precious little life forms. Where are you? Life forms, you tiny little life forms, you precious little life forms. Where are you? Life forms.
Oh my gosh, you guys, I am so excited to tell you about this. Hey folks, it's your old pal, Mr. Todd A. Davis here from the Computer Resume podcast. Get ready to boldly go where, well, thousands have gone before. It's TrekFest 38, yay! June 23rd and 24th in Riverside, Iowa.
Hey! Is this heaven? No. It's Iowa.
Come enjoy all kinds of free activities for you and your whole family. This year's event will feature Chase Masterson from Deep Space Nine, some of the best bands in the area on the Riverside Casino and Golf Resort sponsored main stage, food, drinks, and yours truly will be doing some hosting and emceeing. I'll be upset if you don't come get a selfie with me. For more info about this year's TrekFest, visit them on Facebook at Riverside TrekFest or on the web at trekfest.org. That's TREKFEST.org. Riverside isn't just where the best begins, it's where Trek begins. Now, back to the show.